Hi there, it's Bridget Freeman. Some of you affectionately call me Be Free. And I've decided to just really get back to basics. I used to do videos all the time, and it's time to just really get back to that. And it's going to be on Wednesdays. I'll post every Wednesday. It will be called either Wisdom Wednesday or Wealth Wednesday or some other W that I think of as I go along. But today, we're going to be talking about down payment. The question comes to me often: how much do I need to buy a house? How much money do I need to buy a house to secure a home? We're going to use the price of $225,000. And I know you say, hey, not my area, it's double that. Or I can buy a house for a lot less. But just for the sake of having an example and being able to do the math, we're going to take $225,000. Typically, closing cost is 3% of the price of the home, all right? The definition of closing costs are all the costs associated with the buyer getting the loan. So that could be title issues, or not issues, title costs, title fees, attorney fees, loan origination fees. Nothing is free, so guess what? A lender is going to charge you money to make this loan. And recording fees. So all of those things will typically add up to 3%. So 3% of 225 is $67.50. Now that's just your closing cost, as I mentioned, the cost associated with the buyer getting a loan. Now let's talk about down payment. Your down payment in most cases will be 3.5%. So we're talking an FHA loan, and in a lot of cases too, a conventional loan will be 3.5% would be your down payment of the price of the home. So again, we're taking that 225 times 3.5%, and that gives us $78.75. So when we add, can you see that? $67.50 plus $78.75. That's a total amount of $14,625 estimated that you would need down. Now let me tell you how that number changes or varies. This number here, closing cost. So for example, let's say a seller says, okay buyer, I'm going to contribute up to $4,000 for your closing costs. That number will then change from $67.50 minus the $4,000. That would be $27.50 plus the $78.75. Where this number could change is based on the type of loan that you will receive. So I mentioned FHA and I mentioned conventional, but you might qualify for a VA loan because you're military. So a VA loan would be 100% financing. So guess what? You don't have this down payment. Now you're just looking at your closing cost number. Or a USDA loan is specific to where the house is located. So by definition, that's a rural area. Again, 100% financing. So now that number is changing. Make sure my paper's showing. Otherwise, you're like lost. Where's the reference? In other cases, there may be down payment assistance that a buyer would qualify for, maybe first-time home buyer program, first responders, teachers, police officers, various programs that they qualify for. And then it may even be area specific. So if the house is located in an area where there needs to be more activity, so it needs to be revitalized, well, there may be down payment assistance that is offered because they want more people to move into the area. So again, that number is impacted. A lender has the right to require that you put money in a pot, a virtual pot, for taxes and insurance. Well, that number will depend on the lender, how many months of reserve they may require. So again, this number will vary. But this just gives you a brief overview of down payment, closing cost, i.e. the money that you need to buy a home. So I'm going to be coming to you on Wednesdays. It will either be Wealth Wednesday or Wednesday, say that 10 times. But I'll be giving you some insight and information on all things real estate and maybe some other things that Be Free wants to speak about. which is a perfect segue to say all of my social media is Be Free Speaks. I make it real easy. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys every week. And if there's a particular subject matter or question that you have, then make sure you send me a message. Thank you.